Have you ever looked at your DNA matches and thought, oh, there's my cousin. They said that they had DNA tested, and there they are. But did you check to see if they measure up? In this video, I show you how you can look at your DNA matches and confirm the relationship you think you have. So here I am looking at my DNA matches at Ancestry. I'm using a blurring tool to privatize things, and I'm also using a tool called Genealogy Assistant, and those are both available from Genealogy.ca, and I hope you'll check it out. So my matches, you'll see that here I have a match that has 992 centimorgans, another one that's 936, and 892, 775, 772. These are all my cousins, and they are all on my maternal side. I have tested absolutely everybody in my family. If my aunts or uncles weren't available to test, then I tested my cousins. So these are all examples of what a cousin should look like. But let's look at the DNA painter just to confirm. Now, when I get tested, you'll get a relationship suggested to you. Sometimes it's just one, but sometimes it might be more than one. And I would suggest that you go to DNA Painter and confirm before you accept whatever it says as the gospel. Sometimes people look at their DNA matches and they see their cousin's name and they automatically assume that, oh, there's my cousin, and that's, you know, just the relationship. But sometimes it's might not be exactly what it appears to be. So let's look at DNA Painter. So here we are at DNA Painter. This is one of my favorite tools, and I use this almost on a daily basis. And what we're specifically going to look at is the Shared Centimorgan tool. This is the Shared Centimorgan project, and it's the creation of Blaine Bettinger. And on DNA Painter, it's an interactive tool now. So if we look at this, you'll see that it shows all the possible relationships that you can have with regards to DNA. So if you have a great-grandparent connection, you'll have a range of as low as 485 centimorgans to 1486 centimorgans, and the average will be around 887. Now you can also go up here and enter percentages if you're not sure about, you know, you see maybe percentages in your results rather than centimorgans. But for now, we're going to talk about centimorgans. So we're going to specifically look down here where it says first cousin. You'll see that the range for a first cousin is 396 centimorgans to 1397 with an average of 866. And that was kind of what we saw in my DNA results. But if you saw something like 400 centimorgans, then that's a different relationship. That can be a half first cousin. So that's a range of 156 to 979. So when you see something like this, you need to confirm why you're seeing this and what it's telling you. This might be your first clue that the relationship you thought you had wasn't exactly accurate. I should mention that centimorgans are how we measure DNA. So the higher the number, the closer the match. So if you say, for instance, if you go to a sibling, you'll see that the range is 1613 to 3488 with an average of 2613. Now, if you happen to see in your match list that you have somebody and it says that they're a half sibling, you would likely share approximately 1759 centimorgans. So sometimes when people look at their DNA matches, suddenly they see somebody and they're a half sibling and they don't understand or know why they would have a half sibling. Well, that might be because one of your parents had a child that you were unaware of. So then the next step would be to look at that person and see the matches that you have in common with them. Are they from your mother's side or are they from your father's side? And that will give you a clue as to how you relate to that person. I also mentioned that this is an interactive tool, so I'll tell you how. So if you look at up here in this little box, you can put like those, say 1759, and it's going to tell you that it's 100% probability that it's a grandparent, aunt or uncle, half sibling, a niece or a nephew, or a grandchild. So you can see that, you know, something as simple as 1759 centimorgans, which is a lot of DNA to share with somebody, there are multiple possible relationships that it could be. So sometimes the DNA company will give you you know, say half sibling, and that's because they know how old the person is in comparison to you. So if you know how old that person is, that helps you. And that doesn't matter just for half siblings, that's for any relationships. So the more you know, the first question is, how much DNA do you share with them? And then how old are they? Because that gives you a clue as how you might relate. So the next time you're looking at your DNA matches and you see a cousin that you heard had DNA tested, why not check and see if the amount of DNA that you share with them measures up to what you think the relationship should be. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to put some links in the description so that you can check out genealogy.ca as well as DNA Painter. And if you like this video, please ring the bell and be notified about future videos as they come out. Thanks and happy hunting.